welcome to today's video. Today is going to be a Q&A. You guys asked me some questions on my Instagram and I thought it would be a great video to kind of do today, as I'm sure that some of you have a few questions. And so yeah, let's just jump into them. Make sure you grab your tea like I have here, or some drink, get cozy and enjoy. Also, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, this is me in my natural state these days. I honestly haven't done my hair in like a really long time. And so this is actually how I usually look on a day-to-day basis. So just being real with you guys, I usually don't have my hair and my makeup done up all the time. So I just wanted to be real. But yeah, let's get into the questions. So the first one I have here is advice for a struggling stay-at-home mom. And then I also have one that's kind of pertaining to that. It's like, what advice do you have for a stay-at-home mom who feels overwhelmed most days and bored at home? So I've been a stay-at-home mom now for, over 4 years now. And I've learned a lot through being at home all the time. But one thing that I found super helpful, if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed or you're feeling bored or things like that, I do highly recommend making a schedule for yourself. It can be super relaxed or as rigid as you want, but I do find having a daily schedule is incredibly helpful. And I found for myself that it gives structure to my day. And so I know when we are gonna be doing certain things with the kids. Obviously when your kids are really little, sometimes it can be difficult because they, their nap schedule can be off some days, and that kind of does happen. Like I said, make it flexible. But I do think that having certain times throughout the day to have scheduled activities or things that you have planned is a really good way for you to not feel as overwhelmed or struggling. But I do highly recommend also having a support system. Having a group of moms or just a friend or two that you can confide in or talk to. It can be online or it can be in person, but I highly recommend having a bit of support, and that's going to really help you thrive being a stay-at-home mom, is having a schedule and being open and honest about how you're feeling about it with people you care about too. What is your fave winter comfort food? Okay, so I'm probably going to say ginger molasses cookies. Those are like my ultimate favorite Christmas cookie. They're so good. So I probably say I could probably eat like a whole batch of those by myself. How tall are you? So I'm actually 5'4", so I'm pretty average. I'm not super short, not super tall, just kind of right in the middle there. What's your favorite indoor activity with your kids when it's too cold to go outside? So I think right now my favorite thing to do is to actually make a fort with them and get a bunch of books in there or snuggle up watching a show with them. Forts make everything so much more fun, and that's definitely a favorite of ours. Another go-to is Play-Doh. We've actually made our own Play-Doh and it's lasted since March and it's still good, which is amazing. I'll have the link down for that recipe for you guys. It's so good. I've made like 4 or 5 different batches and they just are so good. And probably coloring and things like that. And yeah, forts are a good one. They just make everything more fun. So if you guys don't know, I actually do dollhouse makeovers. And someone asked, I love your dollhouses. Any tips for an inspiring dollhouse decorator? I think my biggest tip is get inspiration. I've gotten a lot of my inspiration actually from Pinterest and just looking at home decor on there and just thinking in my mind, like, could I recreate that in my dollhouse makeovers? I also really recommend finding some good tutorials on YouTube on making dollhouse furniture. That's what I've done and it's been really helpful. And then even when I'm out and about, like in a store or something like that, like I'm always kind of thinking like, oh, could I use that for the dollhouses? Because I was at IKEA last week and I found these cute little chairs that are actually coat hangers, but they fit perfectly in the dollhouse. Like, it's amazing. So I'm always kind of like on the lookout for stuff for dollhouses and things that I can use in them. So when was the last time that you had short hair? So if you guys have followed me for a while, you might know when the last time I had short hair was. And that was actually a few months after I had Brielle. That was the last time I cut my hair pretty short. I think it was like to here. And yeah, that was the last time. And every time that I've cut my hair short, I've just regretted it so much. I like having long hair. And I think long hair actually suits me better. I look really young when I have short hair. And it's just harder for me. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll cut it again, but I always regret it after, so I don't know if I will. Do you consider yourself a minimalist? So I actually don't consider myself a minimalist. I do feel like I try to be minimal in certain areas of my life. A lot of the home decor and things in my home are actually from a really long time ago. I'm not buying new furniture or new things all the time. That can go with clothes and just household things. I try to be intentional with the things that I do buy, but sometimes a trip to the dollar store might be a little bit of a guilty pleasure for me, where I just find cute things for the dollhouses. But overall, I'd probably say that I try to be intentional with the things I get. I'm not someone who goes shopping every day or online shopping frequently. I try to be really careful with how much I spend and how much I bring home with me. So I don't consider myself a minimalist, because a minimalist is like having only what you need, and I definitely have a bit more than what I actually need. And so I don't consider myself one, but I just try to be intentional with the things I buy. How do you balance working from home and being a mom? And I think I have another question that is similar to that, and I would love to hear how you rock your YouTube while being a mom. So that kind of goes hand in hand, because doing YouTube is actually, it is a lot of work. It is something I really enjoy, but it's also something that it takes up a lot of my time. And I am really intentional with when I do work and when I am being present with my kids. There are times where I do have to do work-related things when they are awake, but primarily I try to do most of my work when they are sleeping, having a quiet time like now, or at nighttime. That's when I choose to edit. I've been editing a little bit sooner in the day instead of waiting till 8 o'clock at night before the kids go to sleep. And so my husband will take the kids, and it's been super helpful for me so that I'm not up late at night editing a video at like 12 a.m., which has been my normal for a while. Yeah, like I always kind of plan out when I'm doing things, so that's really helpful. And I fit that into my daily schedule, so I know when I'm doing things and when I know things need to get done. And also for me, I have realized when to say no to things and when I know it's gonna be too much for me, like saying yes to too many sponsorships or things like that. I kind of know my boundaries and I know what's gonna be good for me and what's not. So I've kind of learned as I've gone through my YouTube journey for doing this for 4.5 years. I've learned so much. And so that's kind of how I kind of juggle things. Do a lot of it when my kids are sleeping at nighttime, if that makes sense. Do I have an assistant? No, I do not have an assistant. It is just me. I have my husband to help me with the kids when I need to edit, like I said, but no, I don't have anyone helping me right now. It's just me. I do everything with my YouTube channel. And so it can be a lot sometimes, but I don't think I'm really at the point where I need somebody to help me right now. What is something that your followers don't know about you? I don't think you guys really know this about me, but I actually grew up playing soccer like my entire life. I was actually the captain on my college soccer team, which was super fun and I loved it. It was great. And I played soccer just kind of for fun after college until I got pregnant with Brielle, and then I kind of didn't play anymore, which is kind of sad, but I still love it. And I would love to play again, but life gets busy. But yeah, that's something you might not know about me, is that I grew up playing soccer, and yeah, I really love it. A lot of you guys asked a lot of questions pertaining to my recent miscarriage, and so I'm gonna kind of go through those now. A lot of them are really similar, so I'm just gonna try to like answer all of them, maybe at once, but just kind of go through them a little bit now. When can you try again for a baby after a miscarriage? So you can actually try immediately after having your miscarriage, which is something that I didn't really know, that you can actually ovulate 2 weeks after you start bleeding, which is incredible. Our bodies are amazing. And so, yeah, people can actually get pregnant without even having a regular period after miscarrying their baby. So that's also really possible. So yeah, you can actually start immediately after you have a miscarriage. Will you start trying to conceive again right after miscarriage? I've gotten a lot of this question, and to be honest with you, we are not putting any pressure on ourselves to get pregnant. And we're just kind of trusting God that his timing is perfect. And with that, we're happy right now. We're good right now. We're content. And, you know, still dealing with the loss in some ways. We feel good with where we're at. And like I've said before, like every day gets a little bit easier to deal with it and to cope with it. I feel like I'm making steps in the right direction. So, like I said, we're just really content right now. So we're not actively trying right now. We're just trusting the Lord and to see what his plans are for us right now. How am I doing emotionally a couple weeks after my miscarriage? So like I just kind of mentioned, emotionally, I'm feeling good. There are moments where I still will tear up and get emotional about it, which is very normal. And I'm allowing myself to just still deal with the grief in some ways, because it doesn't go away. It just maybe gets a little bit easier, or it changes a little bit as time goes on. So emotionally, I'm honestly doing really good. I am just so incredibly grateful for what I do have. And I'm just really focusing on that right now. I'm not focusing on what I don't have right now. And I think that can be just something that I can really just start to spiral with if I don't keep myself grounded in just all the blessings that I have already. So emotionally, I'm doing pretty good. Am I nervous for getting pregnant again? Of course. I am super nervous about it. I think I'd be kidding myself if I wasn't, because I think pregnancy after miscarriage is so different, because you're gonna be so much more in tune with what's going on. And I feel like too, I'm not gonna try to worry when that happens, because again, a lot of it's out of my control. Like having a miscarriage is not because of anything that you physically did. And so I can do what I need to do to be healthy and, you know, to take care of the baby. But overall, like I really don't have any control in it, even though it makes me a little bit nervous. I don't know. It's a lot of mixed emotions, guys. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like it's a lot. And I think anyone who's kind of gone through a miscarriage can understand that it's not like anyone feels the exact same way about it. Everyone has like their own journey going through it, but I am nervous about getting pregnant again because of course I don't want it to end in miscarriage. Going through a miscarriage publicly, would you wait to announce with your future pregnancies? So I've actually thought about this a little bit, and I don't really know at this point. I am not pregnant, so I don't really know how I'm going to handle it. And maybe in some ways I might wait a little bit, just to maybe process that on my own before I share that with the world. I don't know. I'm not really too sure at this point, because I think for me, if I was to have a miscarriage again, to be honest with you guys, I wouldn't feel any shame in that. And again, it would just be another opportunity to bring women together. So I'm really not too sure at this point, because I haven't had to cross that bridge, but I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna process it. I don't know how it's gonna go. So I guess we'll have to see. So yeah, that is where I'm going to end today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you got some answers that you were looking for with how I'm doing and how things are going, and maybe some things you didn't know about me or things like that. Make sure you guys do subscribe to my channel. I will be coming out with more vlogs and more sit-down videos and things like that in the future. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.